Gentlemen, ladies, gentlemen, ladies, gentlemen. Today, we must react to the What Happened to FaZe Clan full story. I should definitely swap hats for something like this. Hold on. We've been rocking the Make Podcasts Great Again hat due to the Dive podcast being re-released, but we should, of course, throw on the Make FaZe Great Again hat for a video such as this. If you guys don't know me, it's Metadake. I've been a FaZe fan, not flan. But anyway, I've been a FaZe fan for approximately 15 years now. Going on 15 because they were founded around, I started following them a little bit after they were founded and just like midway through 2010. So here we are. What happened to FaZe Clan? What happened? Where is it now?
FaZe Clan.
FaZe Clan.
FaZe Clan.
Esports phenomenon FaZe Clan debuting on the NASDAQ today via SPAC merger. They gifted this change.
What is FaZe Clan?
I tell you what it is. Anyways, FaZe Clan is a family. Honestly, to me. A lot of people abandoned it, came back to it, just started being fans, whatever your story is. Believe you're fully aware that FaZe is the biggest thing in gaming ever, and it's one of the largest, if not the largest, community on the internet.
Who is FaZe Clan?
I am a part of the FaZe Clan.
And what
Snoop Doggy Dogg. We all know how that turned out.
happened to FaZe Clan?
I'm asking you, am I in FaZe?
I am no longer a part of FaZe
Now,
Clan.
in May, FaZe Clan was sued by...
That was sad. I gotta say, I know I'm pausing and it's 23 seconds in and I'm pausing a lot, but Blaze being kicked, well, not really kicked, just no longer a part of it, was that was saddening. But also, like, his life went in a different direction a little bit, so, and I hear he's doing good, but I don't know him personally, so I can't really, like, say for a fact on how he's doing. But I think Blaze was one of the most revolutionary people in FaZe, and throughout his career there, he did a lot for FaZe Clan, but also super sad to see him go, but at least it was on okay terms. Like, at least they're still seeming to be friends online, so as long as he's still in the picture as a friend, that's important.
by Tenny over
no
a
heads
contract.
up. Tifu, I called you my family.
FaZe and Banks have every right to be super.
This is not right. This is not cool.
Over
Shut
the
up,
last decade,
Ninja.
FaZe Clan's name and popularity extended from the small niche gaming world to the mainstream media.
Hey. Hold up. Yes, sir. If you guys didn't know, little sidebar, I'm one of the biggest, if not the biggest, fan of FaZe. And I've been wanting to do it for a long time. I've wanted to be a part of this. But our journey continues until that point and beyond that point. Well, as you can see, like my walls and my backdrop, everything's like kind of like FaZe oriented, always has been. There's a lot of FaZe stuff that's not in the picture. Of course, you can see that my chair is, and then like there's controllers, jerseys, shoes, basketball, a bunch of random carpets. Not that that makes me a big fan. Like, buying shit doesn't make you a part of the team, but I've always just wanted to support them through everything that they've been doing, as they were a huge part of my childhood as well as adulthood. So it's important to, like, if you have something that's like something you aspire to do, investing in it is only going to help in the future. Because if I ever were to be a part of it, those investments that I made were actually directly impacting and benefiting FaZe back in the day. So it's got to continue being a thing for me to ever be a part of it. You know what I mean?
That's huge right there. Talk to me about this.
Whether it was YouTubers,
Do you want to join FaZe?
gamers,
Some good old
athletes,
CS.
or celebrities, FaZe Clan and its logo
Bronny being in FaZe is super cool, actually. I like that he's still cohesive with them, because I think that he has a good future with them.
began popping up everywhere. After more than a decade of overwhelming success, FaZe Clan reached a $1 billion valuation.
Valuation of nearly $1 billion.
But less than 2 years later,
A lot of those guys
it was
aren't in it
valued
no
at
more.
$10 million, 99% less than it was 2 years before. Today, FaZe Clan is back. It's a little different, and the future is unknown. How did we get to this point, and what is the future going to hold? Today, we will speak about all the highs and the lows, from banned players, from scandals, and kicked FaZe members. This video will speak about 15 years of history of FaZe Clan. This is for the old fans, the first-time viewers, and the people that are interested in seeing one of the most unique businesses in the history of the internet.
Damn. That's a very tough intro there.
On May
Apex,
30th,
I gotta say.
2010, three friends that met on Xbox Live from around the world made a small decision that started everything. Just like other high schoolers their age, they decided to give their friend group a name. And to their surprise, this name would grow to be globally known very soon.
I remember these days. This was back when I was just like a cringe ass fanboy, if that makes any sense. Like everything was FaZe, and I was just always talking about it, always talking about how I wanted to be in it, even though I sucked at Call of Duty at the time and barely even got to play it. But they were a huge part of my childhood, and I think that helped mold kind of the person I am now, just because I still consume modern FaZe content to this day. And like everyone's got to have a niche. You know, there's people out there that all they talk about is the Green Bay Packers, and all they care about is basketball or football or hockey or whatever. This is like my sport to those crazy fanatic fans of their sports. I'm a crazy fanatic fan of this, and it's not just for the esports. That's actually one of the most minuscule reasons as to why I follow and absorb their content. It's more so the community around it and the movement. Ooh, sorry, that is something else. But anyway, the movement going forward and the people involved in it. There's a lot of figures within FaZe that are a huge inspiration to who I am as a creator and who I aspire to be as a creator. And there's people that were in FaZe in the past that are still inspirations to this day. You come and go sometimes in FaZe Clan, but your impact is almost always not forgotten. So
Because this was founded in 2010 by a bunch of teenage kids who just loved gaming.
And met on Xbox, didn't meet in person.
Lee Trink.
Clips from Florida, Resistance from Texas, and Housecat from Canada decided to go and name their team FaZe.
How perfect is this? F-A-Z-E.
And the rest was history. A few months later, in August of 2010, FaZe Temper was brought onto the team.
Oh hey, what's up? It's FaZe Temper. I'm gonna show you guys my setup.
For most people on the team at the time, this was just a side hobby, something they did for fun. But for FaZe Temper, this was something different. Tommy had a vision that changed the trajectory of FaZe Clan forever.
This is like some old MTV shit.
He saw it as something that would change the world, and he quickly became the public leader of FaZe Clan in early 2011, and his dedication and his passion fueled the brand to unbelievable heights. I myself, FaZe Apex, was recruited by Temper in March of 2011, which was the beginning of a massive year for FaZe Clan.
FaZe getting ready. They need to be focused, right?
Other legendary members such as Tico, Ramos, and Wartech were brought on that year, and FaZe Clan grew from under 50,000 subscribers to 500,000 subscribers by the end of 2011. Along with daily content, FaZe
Those
launched
were the
its
days.
first ever clothing pieces in 2011, and it began to grow as a brand beyond gaming. Less than a year later, the YouTube channel reached 1 million subscribers, and it was in the top 100 most subscribed channels on the platform. Moving quickly ahead, by 2013, other notable members such as Rain, Banks, Adapt,
Dude.
and
Oh
Rug were
my
now parts of
gosh.
FaZe.
Rug, you haven't aged today.
FaZe Clan now had
Just
over
kidding,
2 million
just kidding.
subscribers
Nah,
and took a
the
massive
glove's
step
real.
by entering into the esports scene with a professional Call of Duty team.
There you see FaZe getting
Isn't this crazy though? You look at a like professional Call of Duty team then and now, and everyone just looks completely different because people are from all over and all walks of life. Like you'll have a tall kid, a short kid, and then you know the rest of the box of cookies. And anyways, it's just weird to look like at them as professional athletes, but they are to a degree. It takes an insane level of talent to be good at these games. But like you compare them to like a NBA team or an NFL team, and everyone kind of has similar muscular structures and just like come from similar places. And then you look at a COD team, it's just a bunch of random people.
ready. They need to be focused.
That year in 2013, dozens of FaZe members from around the world flew to Anaheim, California, and lived in a house together for the weekend. This was the first time that many of them met outside of the internet, and it was a weekend that changed all of their lives. FaZe Clan brought more excitement to that event that weekend by announcing 5 winners of the FaZe 5 recruitment challenge that had over 100,000 applicants to join FaZe Clan. They were introduced in a stretch limo in the modest house, and they accompanied the rest of their team to the Anaheim Convention Center to go watch MLG
That's
Anaheim
sick.
2013.
I totally forgot about the limo thing.
FaZe Clan's roster of 4 professional Call of Duty players was competing. Throughout the games, the other members would be outside taking pictures, meeting fans, and supporting the team as they eventually placed into the top 5 in one of their first events. The rest of the year, FaZe members continued to travel around the world following the Call of Duty team, supporting them in various different cities such as Columbus, New Jersey, and even in Niagara Falls. With now over 3 million subscribers.
One sec. So, let me rewind here.
Placed into the top 5 in one of their first events. The rest of the year, FaZe members continued to travel around the world following the Call of Duty team.
This was the golden era, bro. This shit was key. This is what I really liked during this time frame, was when I was like really becoming a hardcore fan, and this was an elite time frame.
Supporting them in various different cities such as Columbus, New Jersey.
Dream item from FaZe is an original FaZe Xbox 360 controller through Scuff, but in good condition, not some dusty ass shit. Right now, I have some relatively decent rarity tier FaZe Clan loot. Probably being, here's one of my prized possessions of it. This is probably the best one I have. This is, I don't know how well you can see it, but it's signed by Temper and Adapt. I got that one in Chicago in 2020. Other than that, probably like my Founding Fathers LAN hoodie, or possibly, I mean, the shoes aren't really that rare. Probably like the Chinatown basketball, the Scuff controllers, G Fuel cup, or I would say the Bear Brick or the Takashi Murakami type stuff.
Jersey, and even in Niagara Falls. With now over 3 million subscribers and 30 to 40 FaZe members, FaZe Clan reached new heights.
I'm going to say one thing that some people might not like if you're a big fan of FaZe. During the era that they were being taken control of by some really dark and rude people, more so than rude, just awful people in general, there was a big issue with merch. I got a lot of good quality FaZe Clan stuff, but like I was buying like Takashi Murakami jerseys for an insanely high price, as well as like the Lyrical Lemonade jersey, the Kappa jersey, all of those, the numbers on the back as well as text on the front and stuff, they'll just fall off randomly. They're not very like quality made, and that's because they were going through like a power shift, and that's kind of what this chapter is leading up to, is like the old school merch has better quality than that time period, but then when Banks took over again, shit went back up. This like Make FaZe Great Again hat is, I give it like high tier quality. It's one of my most comfortable hats I have, and I don't know if they switched who they went through for their merch, but it got better after Banks took back control. So not to say that it was completely shit, like the merch back in the day was all right, but it definitely took a downgrade when these people took control. And I still don't know the name of the guy, that they refused to say the name of him, but that's for legal reasons. FaZe House era. Anyways, let's let this little ad play out here. FaZe House era, best era in all of FaZe history. And yes, right now they're technically even higher on the charts when it comes to views than they were back then. But the FaZe House era was insane. This was the era that everything took off. And you can't repeat this. They couldn't throw a group of people into a house and repeat this at all. The energy, nothing. But what you can do is you can take that blueprint and make something good as well. But it's like apples to oranges. Nothing can compare to this, just as nothing can compare to that first subathon that was thrown in this reboot. It's apples to oranges. You can't compare the two things. Both were insane blow-ups, but you can't recreate this. This was the greatest era in FaZe.
14, while the whole team was again at another rented house in Columbus, attending an event, the 4 leaders at the time, FaZe Apex,
Everyone a bite. I'm not gonna touch your lens. Don't worry.
Temper, Banks, and Reigns sat down in a room and decided to make this into a business. On a whiteboard, the 4 leaders drew out the ownership and how this was going to be ran, and an LLC was created, and the rest was history.
I'm so glad that they got that LLC going, though. They needed to do that to protect themselves.
FaZe Clan and G Fuel partnered to launch the first ever FaZe house in Long Island, New York.
Vlog right now because I actually have a pretty huge announcement that I'm making.
After members
This
like
was
Apex
golden.
and Rain reaching 1 million subscribers
Missed
on their own
that.
personal channels, the content game had made a massive shift. Instead of just gaming, FaZe Clan's new house was going to be a place filled with skits,
Bro, what are you doing?
pranks,
Oh my!
vlogs. and
That's
content
one of the
that fans
best
had never before
adapt
seen.
prank videos ever. The trust fall on the door.
The
I
now
forgot
legendary
the
New York
Elsa
FaZe
era.
house consisted of members such as Tico,
Not Olaf.
Apex, Banks, Temper, Sensei, Blaziken, Adapt, and Rain, with many other members and other YouTubers visiting.
He's a legend.
Explode all over you.
FaZe Jeb is a
Esports
fucking
also continued to
legend.
grow with the first ever FaZe championship win in Call of Duty in 2014 at UMG
Now, if we go to, here it is.
community as Lakers legend
So when they went to the California house, you kind of saw it there a little bit, and that's when shit started to get a little dirty, in my opinion.
Kobe Bryant.
As a fan,
a lot began to
that's
change in
when shit
2017
changed.
when this move happened. Most of these FaZe members began making really good money in their late teens, and they entered into their early 20s.
Into the business that you've created, because now FaZe Clan is worth hundreds of millions of dollars. You guys are...
Naturally, many of them began experimenting many different things in life and trying to find enjoyment away from just YouTube. Around this time, a businessman joined the company who legally cannot be named, and he began to take the reins of the business.
I want to know this man's name. I hear about this guy all the time and how he legally can't be named. Oh, when I find out who he is. And that's not a threat. That's just me saying that basically I am going to have so many fun tweets to make, airing out the fact that this guy, whoever he is, ruined the childhoods of like millions of people and millions of hardcore fans. This guy came in and took something that a lot of people, it was their rock when it came to their community and friendships that they've made, and just absorbed it, took all of the money, and then shat it out and said, here, work with the scraps at the end. It's fucking sad.
At a very opportunistic time. FaZe Banks had freshly gone through a very difficult time online and was separated from the rest of the team.
This was a rough era.
The rest of the members were also pretty burnt out after daily uploading every single day for over 5 years, and with the big shift in their lives moving across the country, there was confusion, discomfort, and demotivation across the house. Along with all of that, there were some scandals beginning to form around the brand and around esports, and all of this was a perfect recipe for this businessman to step in. This was the first real speed bump in FaZe's history, and a lot changed in 2017. In one sense, esports continued to grow, and the business on the outside looked stronger than ever, but internally, the members were demotivated, lost, split up from each other, and confused on the future. FaZe Banks eventually came back to LA and became a part of FaZe Clan again, and the FaZe house basically disbanded. New houses would form that had a few members, other houses having other members, and it became more of a professional production studio. The content, esports, and strategy was fully being managed by this businessman and the team that he has established. After a couple rough years, this stand-in CEO was actually caught doing some shady business practices, and he was kicked out of the team, and the turmoil really continued. In 2008,
Wisconsin follows a careful and
Now we gotta watch this. I can't wait for this election to be over. Fortnite was a revival for FaZe. I have to say, like, FaZe was on a rough patch, but Fortnite did bring it back. The Fortnite era, see, I love it just like everyone else, but we're gonna skip towards the end of it. Just because I've learned so much about this already.
At the Fortnite World Cup in New York, FaZe shut down the streets with thousands of fans
elite.
coming to meet them and buy their exclusive clothing drop. Over the next few years, the company
Heck yeah.
continued to grow so much that the staff grew to over 100 employees. And inevitably, there was a massive divide starting to brew between the original members and the corporate.
This is a like badass picture, but sad era still, because they were still stuck in it.
As things grew, many major decisions began being made on behalf of the brand without the buy-in of the original members. The company was now ultimately controlled by a board of directors, which is natural because of all the money that was taken on in investments. Of course, a lot of this at the fault of the FaZe members that didn't really have a grasp on what was happening at the brand. This is a point in history that a lot of fans fault the original members for doing, claiming that they sold out or this and that.
There's a lot of deep shit in all this.
And a little biased, of course. Myself, being 20, 21 years old at the time, and the rest of us being a little younger, really had no idea what was happening. To the point of selling out, none of the FaZe members really profited $1 from any of these moves and actually lost complete control of the brand. With that being said, a lot of internal turmoil began to grow, as well as some massive scandals. Arguably the biggest member of FaZe Clan at the time,
Tfue scandal, we all know about this one, and this one was rough. We're gonna go to right here.
A steady decline in public value.
The popular
This is right after the stock started to decline and just shoot down, and then everyone's like, well, forget FaZe. Except for like some of us dedicated fans, a lot of us were still holding out hope. And then all the fans that left and talked shit came back after things got fixed. Like, I mean, if you a real one, stay around even when shit's tough. I'm glad you came back, but if you really believe in something, it's going to go up and it's going to go down, and it's going to go up and it's going to go back down again. And it's going to keep happening. That's just what happens with anything you build. Do you think your house stays at max value and max, like, you renovate your house, wait 10 years. It's not renovated anymore. Anything, it's going to go up and down, up and down. You're not going to have a steady flat line or a steady uphill.
Today, the company's market cap is just 14.
And many FaZe members began publicly speaking out about their grievances with the company. Most of the staff was let go, the CEO was finally fired, and the original FaZe members could not even wear the FaZe logo proudly anymore. In October of 2023, FaZe Clan was acquired for $17 million. Just 2 years after being valued at over $1 billion.
FaZe Clan in an all-stock deal worth about $17 million.
From its inception in 2010...
I mean, I love how everyone still says, like, that's a small amount of money when it really isn't. I mean, compared to the valuation, yes, but holy shit, that's more than I'll make in my lifetime.
For the next 11 years, FaZe Clan only saw exponential growth year by year. And all of that was until October in 2021, where it seemed to be the beginning of the end. The only positive in that $17 million acquisition of FaZe Clan seemed to be the caveat that the founders would be back in power.
So a lot of people were talking shit on it and really going crazy, but I was sitting on the back burner, and if you look at every tweet I had during this era, I was hitting shit good. And I was waiting for this. I saw this shit coming. If you knew Banks and you knew the founders around him that were still sticking around, you knew there was a trick up their sleeves and they were going to turn this shit around. Those guys are some of the best creators to ever hit the internet, and they also have incredible minds. A lot of them have a pretty decent IQ. So all jokes aside, with the adapt jokes and all that and him being stupid or whatever, he does have a pretty high IQ outside of his character. But anyway, I was holding out hope throughout all of this as like a fan that's like posted for over a decade, hey, I want to join, blah, 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 entering in all the phase 5s, entering in the phase 1. I failed at all of them, but I'm still holding out hope, and I'm still here. I've been making content since then just to like hold it down for the fans that are here, because there's a lot of people that like don't speak from the fans' perspective, and I'm just a genuine, normal-ass fan. And sometimes a perspective of ours needs to be heard as well when it comes to this whole situation, and when FaZe went downhill and when it came back up and then went back downhill again, and now that it's being revived. I think some of our voices need to be heard more so than just the drama YouTubers on the internet. There's some drama YouTubers on the internet that like they do care about FaZe, and some of them are fans of FaZe. Like you'll see them on the internet. I'm not going to name who they are, but they're not like lifers. Like it's not their dream to join. So if it's someone's dream to join, they're going to probably have a deeper thought process when it comes to analyzing everything that's going on or has gone on with the FaZe situation.
Many people wrote off the brand and thought that it was too late, and even internally, many FaZe members could not imagine that it would recover. In March of 2024, FaZe Clan's social media pages were wiped clean and blacked out. It was announced that FaZe
W.
Banks would be stepping in as the CEO, and a lot of things
Yup.
were about to change. A month
Best thing
later,
that ever
FaZe
happened
Clan
to
was rebooted with a roster of only 14 FaZe members, which left a
This
lot
was
of
elite.
fans angry. And
There's a few
scratching their
adjustments
heads.
I would have
Most of
made,
the team was left off the roster,
but it was
including
pretty
some of the
elite.
most important members in FaZe Clan.
Then again, who am I
FaZe Rain,
compared to
Kiko,
the likes of
Blaziken,
a mind of
this,
his?
Of course, left the public divided. Some of the audience was understandably very angry to see their favorite members left off the list, while others agreed that the team needed a full reboot. Rain, who was one of the original 4 founders of the business, shared that he was no longer interested in being a part of the team anymore due to the
This is sad, but I understand his perspective. Rain is just, he's one of my tops in there.
corporate ownership.
We need him
structure,
back.
and the others were left off.
At
with
least
no
he's
real
still a little bit
explanation.
involved.
Banks took center stage and stood by the decision and took on the burden of the hate and the criticism, and he was very responsive with the audience throughout. He announced that 4 new FaZe members would join the team, and during a 4-day span, FaZe Clan and
Couldn't have picked a better 4. I wouldn't have fit. Honestly, if I had the choice, I would take his word over mine any day of the week. Of course, I want to join FaZe Clan. Of course, it's the biggest dream I've ever had, and I've always continuously worked towards it. But if he would have recruited me, it wouldn't have made sense. I would have failed, and I wouldn't have held up to the part of rebooting FaZe. These are the perfect 4. Perfect 4. He made the best decision out of anyone when it came to any organization at any point in time in all of gaming and gaming organizational history. This is the best decision he could have made. All 4 of them are phenomenal creators and are doing the best that they can to revive the brand as well. And yeah, there's little hiccups in the road, but you're not going to find like this golden boy that's going to just do everything perfect and only blow up. Like you need more ups and downs, just like FaZe. FaZe had ups and downs, so you need people that have ups and downs that can go with that flow and not get scared and back out and stop trying to forward the brand. You need people that are used to failure, people that are used to being in turmoil, and these are the perfect 4 for that.
announced the recruitment of Max, Silky, Jason the Ween, and Lacey. According to the statistics of the senior analyst at FaZe Clan, FaZe's reboot generated a social reach of 350 million impressions. After a rough and quiet 2 years, this was a very big burst back onto the scene, but a lot of people were angry about the decision. Diving into the data, there was almost 60,000 different mentions on social media of the brand in that week, which was the most since April of 2023. But if you look at the numbers, almost half of them were negative, and a lot of the fans were not happy with the decision.
Fans. Some fans are just out here wanting a spot, and they'll be mad anytime anyone gets recruited other than themselves. I mean, in the past, I've been angry that I didn't win a FaZe 5 or a FaZe 1, or I didn't even make it in the top 20, top 50, not even top 100. But who am I? I ain't shit. I've got like 1,500 subscribers, 1,500 dedicated like followers. And yes, you can say, oh, there's people with 1,000 that are good and they'd be good for the brand. To a point. Most of the time you see a little bit more numbers there. That means people have been around the block a little bit more, so they know a little bit more when it comes to content creation, ups and downs, things to look out for in the business. You need a well-minded creator to be picked up to really revive something like this. Also, this ad right here is the best.
Just 2 months later,
ever.
in July of 2024, a lot of haters were proven wrong, and a lot of them were turned into supporters. That measured positive sentiment across the internet reached 62%. The FaZe Clan talent roster gained 2.5 million followers and over 550 million engagements. And 3 of those 4 new streamers that were recruited joined Stable Ronaldo from FaZe Clan in the top 50 most watched streamers worldwide. FaZe Clan quickly rebounded and has more support and love than it has had in years, but many of the original supporters are still upset by how things went down up until this point. But day by day, it seems that people are becoming more supportive to the vision after seeing how FaZe has quickly rebounded from a point of almost complete collapse. The future of FaZe Clan is of course unknown, but the reboot and relaunch has set high hopes of FaZe Clan members and fans.
This is an elite squad of members that they have now.
Like FaZe Clan's fall off needs to be studied. Those comments have now transformed into FaZe Clan's comeback needs to be studied.
Exactly.
As a member of FaZe since 2011, I have to admit that I thought it was all over in 2023. I did not.
Damn. Let's go back to his backdrop here.
Admit that I thought it was all.
The bear, both the controllers on the left, here, let's do this. I have this, I have this, this, this. Technically I have this, it's right here. And then also this, I don't know what else is behind him. I have 2 rugs that aren't this rug. And I don't have this, obviously, or this, or this, or this.
It's all over.
I want
2023.
this.
I did not really see a path towards success again in the future. I thought the damage was done and the business was too messy, but because of how low FaZe Clan fell, it weeded out a lot of old investors and board members, and it really made space for myself and the original FaZe members to relaunch the brand. I'm really proud of Banks and how he has stepped up and unapologetic.
Absolute legend. Literally the greatest creator to ever hit the internet. This guy has a mind for this shit. And he's the only person out there that could have done this while factoring in the fans. So, sorry, my voice is probably quiet when I'm way back there, but Banks was the perfect man for the job. Just an outstanding person
For FaZe Clan.
on content and off
I'm glad to say that I
content.
can finally wear FaZe t-shirts again, proudly. And I think that the future is looking bright for the first time in a while. But just like the last 14 years, FaZe Clan is my life, and all I want is to see it succeed. And I know there's a lot of people that share that sentiment, whether they're happy or mad about how things went. Old members share the sentiment, new members share the sentiment, fans, former fans, new viewers. FaZe has had a very extensive history. There's been a lot of ups and downs. But for anyone that's been around since 2011, it is almost impossible to not want to see the brand succeed. So we can just hope and pray that the brand finds a way to continue to succeed, and you know, all the original members and people who have been a part of building this do find success on their own. It has been a rough few years. It has been a crazy few years. At the end of the day, these 14 years have been the biggest blessing of my life. So thank you to everyone who supported FaZe throughout the way. Even the haters out there, you have fueled us in a lot of ways, and it has been crazy. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys on the next video on this channel. Leave a like and subscribe, and FaZe up.
Oh, hey. Okay.
That was solid. That was real solid. I ain't gonna lie. You did real good with that one, Apex. I'm giving that one a like for sure. We got to turn on that bell. I don't know why we don't have it on for you. And then we got a comment here. Phenomenal. As a lifelong fan, people, semicolon, people needed to see this and hear this from your POV. Thank you. Absolutely beautiful. What a good video. I don't know what else I can say with that. I had to comment on that, so let me show you what we got for a comment here. We gotta pull this down here. It's right here. I'll pull it up. What happened? There. Okay, comments. Where'd comments go? Here we go. Right there. If you want to read that. Anyways, overall, let's go ahead and do this. Overall, that was just an absolutely phenomenal video. I can't thank you enough for making something like that. That was something that all of us fans needed to see. We've all been ran through the ringer. We're all worn out. I'm worn out. I'm old. But I'm still here. I'm still about the brand, and I'm ready to bring FaZe further any moment that I get the privilege of being part of the brand. But regardless of if you have it in your name or not, you're still part of the brand. Every single fan out there, like people like me or you that are watching this video, because if you're watching it, you probably clicked on it because FaZe is in the name. But this logo all around here, it connects every single fan of FaZe. It makes every single person have the ability to be a part of FaZe. I wear this proudly on me. Obviously, I'm wearing a different org right now. It's another org that's kind of like cool to watch once in a while. It's GG Limitless. But obviously, FaZe to the grave. But anyways, if you look in the background, all you see is a bunch of FaZe Clan stuff. You see it on the wall. You see my foam finger up. It's literally all over the place. That's everything that this studio is. I mean, there's a flag next to me. if I pull it out from my donuts, a FaZe Clan flag sitting here. There's the FaZe rugs candy on the shelf over there. I buy everything that I've bought with FaZe just to support the brand and be a part of the brand in the best of my ability. You don't have to go and spend money on this shit if you're a fan, but this is huge. FaZe Clan is huge. It's going to continue to be huge, and I hope that one day I can be a part of it. And for now, this is a way of